Welcome back everyone to another video. This is Mark2909 and today we are going to talk about the Kranvagn. I know it's been out for a couple of months already and still it is one of the newest tanks, and as I plan to do a stream on this specific tank, I thought, okay, why not just make a video about it and talk about the tank in general a bit. So, also very important news for you, that is, we do have Hall of Fame #1 gameplay from Mark2909 on the Kranvagn, which will be shown after a bit of introduction into this tank. So stay tuned and don't skip. Alright, let's talk about the armor profile first of all. As you can see in the background already, this tank is insanely strong. If it uses its maximum gun depression of 9 degrees, which is quite a lot, then this turret is almost indestructible. And probably most of you have faced this tank in the game already. Another big thing about this tank is that the cupolas on top there are very weak, yet they are penetrable with HE. You barely ever manage to hit them, but still you can theoretically penetrate with HEs from bigger TDs or everything that has high HE penetration. Another thing about the armor profile which I would like to mention is that I struggle a lot with the frontal plate. It is not the biggest armor, not that much armored yet. It's a bit tricky because of the pike nose. You often bounce shots that you are pretty sure you would penetrate. Also, if you are shooting these tracks like this, you would probably penetrate as you hit the track rear, but often you still get stuck in the tracks with your shots. So the front is really tricky, and it's not for no reason that you see this tank a lot in Clan Wars also. Let's have a quick look at the modules also. As you can see, the armor rack is sitting in the middle, which is really hard to hit. So in the front you don't expect to hit anything but the driver maybe. If you are going for module damage, then you should definitely either go for the armor rack, which is in the back of the turret and quite easy to hit if you are penetrating with HE. Like you can see from the side, it is everywhere HE penetrable, also from the rear. But you will do more module damage if you just go for the engine in the back. Armor rack is unlikely to detonate at all. So yeah, shoot for the engine or the side where the fuel tank is, for a chance to set it on fire. Mostly causes more damage than the armor rack that is critically damaged. Yeah, also another thing that I would like to mention here about the armor, if you're going for an HE into the back, with mediums like Russian mediums for example, that do not have a lot of HE penetration, you struggle with that. Also with a batchet, you're often not able to penetrate the rear, while on the turret the armor is much thinner, yet you often hit this thing and it's not that reliable. So in general, AP is just safer. If you can, shoot for the side here where the fuel tank sits. Have a quick look at it again. It is right here. Now, concerning the overall statistics of this tank. As you may know, this tank has very bad DPM. And I thought, okay, let's maybe compare to other tanks like the AMX 50B and the E5, which are played a lot in the current meta, which are currently very strong. So I think it would be a nice idea to compare with these two tanks, as you do have the Clipper on the AMX 50B, and T110E5 is known for having great hull down capacities, while the Kranvagn just combines both. Yet one thing that it definitely lags behind is the DPM. Of course, if you drive into the fight with 3 shots loaded, you do have better DPM than this. Yet you will struggle to hammer out the damage if you are not constantly able to shoot. And even if you are, you will have higher chances of dealing a lot of damage in the AMX 50B or the T125. So yeah, also you can see, by the way, quite a lot of people have asked me about this. Second shot is reloading the fastest, yet it is still not a lot of DPM, but quite a high reload. So 11.1 seconds especially is a really long time if you consider that the FV205B has something like 7 point, I don't know for sure, like 7.4 seconds of reload, and that is a lot less than the 11.1 for the 400 Alpha. Another thing you might consider is that the intra-clip reload is 3.5 seconds on the Kranvagn, while it's only 3 seconds on the AMX 50B, 2.8 on the Batchet, 2.5 on T57. So it is a bit weaker on this aspect, yet normally you don't really notice such a difference. Yet I would say in a 1v1 the AMX 50B wins the fight against the Kranvagn if the Kranvagn is not completely hull down. Another thing, accuracy, the gun handling. As you can see here, it is just slightly worse than on the AMX 50B or on the T125. Also, yeah, on the movement, it's not a lot of difference. Gun depression is quite good, concerning that it has more gun depression than T125. 10 degrees is mostly the maximum on tier 10 tanks, so 9 degrees is quite a lot. The mobility of this tank, it is not good. Let's say it like this. The mobility will cause a lot of struggles as you have to relocate early on. And yeah, with 30 kilometers per hour, it's basically nothing. Even if you have the special consumable with the speed boost, this tank is not fast. Even with a speed boost, you are not really fast, and you always have to keep in mind that you must be able to relocate early and don't get into the fight like too aggressive, because you will just not have the DPM nor the mobility to run away. So you have to be very careful with this tank. Okay, one more thing I would like to mention, which is a big pro for the Kranvagn, is the hit points. I don't know what Wargaming was thinking there to give this tank a lot of armor and a lot of hit points. With 2500 hit points, it has far more hit points than all the other autoloaders and most of the heavy tanks. It is basically a super heavy with a clip, yet it does not really have the DPM. Okay, let's jump into the replay. We do have the Kranvagn played by Mark2909, and as said, this is Hall of Fame #1 gameplay. So let's see. Meanwhile, in the beginning, I would probably explain a bit more about the game style, what you should do, and as said, be very careful with this tank. If you are managing to be hull down, this tank is perfect. If you are not, if you're too far in the open, you would struggle. You will have problems to get the damage, and therefore you really need to be careful of where you're going. So probably just stay close to the team always if you can, and try to always aim your shots. That's the most important thing on the Kranvagn. Hit every single one of your shots. Otherwise, you will just not be able to reload on time, and especially with the auto reloading mechanism, you will struggle to get the damage if you are not able to hit your shots, and 1 or 2 missed shots might actually decide over the outcome of the game. And also, as you see on this game, with the improved hit points, actually it is 2800 hit points on the Kranvagn, so that is same hit points as NO.1, I think, almost. So the difference to Chieftain, for example, is huge. Still, due to the lack of DPM, high DPM tanks will probably win a 1v1 in open terrain if you're not able to retreat. So keep that in mind, be able to retreat to cover. So put out a clip and aim your shots, then retreat and reload. If you can, though, don't wait for the whole clip. Just put out your shots, but very important for the auto reloaders is, of course, that you always have to keep an eye on the reload of the next shell. So if you have like one shell reloaded for the half of the reload, then it's not worth shooting some enemy. Probably if you may be able to shoot 2 shots just 5 seconds after, because otherwise you will have just 15 seconds of reload or something like that for only 1 shot, and that hurts. So keep your shots if you can and make sure you make great use of them. So what we do see here is that the team from Mark actually just diminished. It was just it died within seconds, and he so far has been playing very patiently. As you can see here, he waits for his 3rd shot, tries to kill the Vickers, which is not really aware of the danger in this situation here, and a nice HE into the Chieftain here. Yeah, so far so good, or maybe not so, because his team is mostly dead, but he knows, alright, Chieftain is a 1-shot maybe, yes it is, and the IS-4 is a 1-shot too, yet his WZ on the right side here is in very bad position, as he may get pushed, and yeah, Mark could potentially cover him from the back, but he decides, you know what, I'm going for better position and create some better crossfire, or maybe not, as enemies are still pushing it. So he tries to get the FV, quite dangerous baiting that he does here, but in this position he knows, okay, the FV does not have the gun depression, so he can peek out, goes for some nice track shots without even aiming in, and kills the FV. So he's on 5.7k damage now and has 3 enemies remaining. One of them is a 1-shot, and his WZ is about to die or now dead. So he already backs off, as he knows he cannot stay too close to the enemy. He needs some distance to fight them, and otherwise he would just get run over. So he tries to get a nice hull down position over here. It is well, quite unusual hull down position. And now he's able to clip the E100 before he's able to reach him. So another thing I would like to mention here is that this tank also has the reticle calibration, which allows for better accuracy on your shots, and I love this equipment. Now he makes use of it. So far he hasn't, I think so, but he wants to go for safe shots here. And yeah, in general I will go for the reticle calibration plus the speed boost, as it really allows for some it just allows for some safer gameplay, as you can run around with a lack of mobility. You need the speed boost, and also with a lack of accuracy and DPM, it is just so important that you hit your shots that it really makes sense to use the reticle calibration. Also, which you can also keep in mind, is that the tracks are mostly not shown, as you have a hull down tank, and if you manage to fight hull down, then you will not get tracked too often. Unlike this Jag, which made a mistake and allows Mark to just get around the Jag Tiger. Now he is behind him, can just take him out with the next shot. IS-4 even misses a shot. Hopefully he doesn't low roll now. The max roll is being reloaded and he gets a max roll, no low roll, and only the IS-4 remains. So this is certainly awesome gameplay here, and we're coming to an end. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like if you want to support me. You will find more videos concerning tanks and a lot of streams on this channel too. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. See you soon.